My name is Suzanne Ransom, and I am a pulmonary hypertension caregiver. I was pregnant, and I was about 27 weeks, and when they were doing the measurements, they're like, your baby seems a bit small. And so they sent me for the giant ultrasound all over again at 27 weeks. And they said, it looks like your baby has an infection around its stomach and heart. And so they sent me down to maternal fetal medicine. And they brought in a pediatric cardiologist, and they examined the stomach and the heart, and they said her heart kind of looks like a jellyfish. It's not kind of doing the in and out thing. And so they pumped me full of steroids, and they said the most important thing for her at this point is to stay inside. Her lungs need to grow. I was in the hospital 4 days a week, all the way to 37 and a half weeks. And by then they said, okay, inside to outside is about equal at this point. So we got her out. She went straight to the NICU, but was only there for 4 hours. They said she looks kind of the same as she did inside, but at least now we have an actual heart pumping, but the right heart is enlarged, and so something still isn't right. And so we spent the next 8 months ruling out cardiomyopathy and arrhythmia and holes in the heart and congenital defects. And at 8 months, he said, let's do a right heart cath. So we did that. And he said, I think your daughter has pulmonary hypertension. We're going to run one more CAT scan to do some structural investigation. And that came back clear. And he said, your daughter has pulmonary hypertension. And I'm like, okay, now what? And he's like, well, we'd like to put your daughter on Viagra. I'm like, no, thanks. And he had told us way up front, he's like, stay off the internet. And so we were very good patients, and we stayed off the internet. And so I'm like, all right, we have this disease. We're not allowed on the internet, but I don't want to take your medication. So we spent the next 6 months exploring Eastern medicine, supplements, oils, diet. We did a whole lot of investigation on that end of it, and it didn't fix it. And it's been an amazing ride since. And now she is on 2 orals, and we have our specialist, and we are going at life at about 110% right now. We have a good support team at home with our church, because we actually don't have family close by, and so we are kind of doing this on our own. But I love the Facebook group. Having people that you can reach out to and connect with and grieve with and celebrate with is always an amazing lift that we need, and that hope that we need. I think awareness is so important because we were told stay off the internet, and so we had nothing. But once we finally did get on the internet, the information we had was so old, it's terrifying. And so if we can bring awareness to doctors and the public and get updated articles and updated studies and updated research and statistics that are actually helpful and useful and hopeful for people, that alone is so uplifting and encouraging and hopeful. And so as a parent, you're kind of forced into this advocacy role, because you're month-old, you're years old, they can't advocate for themselves yet. And so it's your job as the parent to have to do that. And so you don't need to do it on a political level if you're not ready yet, but you need to do it for your doctor, or you need to do it for your family, because they have needs and they need to be met. It's a lot to take in, and you can't take it all in one day. And there are gonna be days when you're like, I've got this, I can do this. And then the next day you're gonna wake up and you're like, I can't do this. I'm so alone, I'm overwhelmed, and you kind of just have to ride that oscillation up and down, and eventually you just find this new normal of operating. And yeah, it's a harder normal than a lot of other people, but everyone's got their own level of hard. You know, there are single moms, and that's hard, and there are people with other diseases, and that's hard, and like, this is just my hard. And that's the cards we got, and we're gonna play them, and we're gonna play our hand as best we can. My name is Suzanne Ransom, and we know my daughter is rare.